For 10 years, he was the quietest employee at the city library. He organized books and spoke to students in whispers, until the day armed robbers entered the library and took children hostage, and everyone saw how he moved. That's when they realized he wasn't just a librarian. He was a SEAL Team 6 veteran. Welcome to One Human One. Story before we continue with this powerful story of hidden identity and unexpected heroism. Do you think your librarian could be hiding such a secret? Share in the comments. And if you believe stories like this need to be heard, hit that subscribe button and help us remember that behind every person lies an incredible story. When Michael Mike Stevens started working at Springfield Public Library, nobody gave him a second glance. He was 42 years old, medium height, with graying hair and a calm demeanor. He rarely raised his voice, mostly speaking in whispers. He was a perfect library employee. He came in at 8 a.m. every day and left at 5 p.m. He organized books, updated the catalog system, and helped visitors, but always with the same distant, polite manner. Children called him Silent Mr. Mike. Young Anna Rodriguez, a high school student, would say to her friends about Mike, "That man is like a robot. Have you ever seen him smile? Always the same expression." Indeed, Mike's facial expression never changed. Neither happy nor sad, just calm, controlled. His eyes, however, seemed to constantly scan the environment. Doors, windows, people. Library director Mrs. Helen Carter had only gotten basic information when hiring Mike. His resume said, previous job, security sector. His references were perfect, but there were no details. Why library work? Helen had asked. I like quiet, Mike had said, and books don't cause harm. Helen had found this answer strange, but Mike's work quality was so good that she stopped questioning. Other staff who had worked with Mike for months had noticed some odd details. First, Mike's first task every morning was to check all exit doors. He called it security protocol, but no other library had such a protocol. Second, Mike never walked with his back turned. He always moved sideways or while looking back. This was so natural that most people didn't notice. Third, how Mike held everything. Pen, book, cup, as if every object was a potential weapon, always held in a way he could control. Young employee Tom Peterson had asked Mike one day, "Mike, you worked in the security sector before." "Where?" Mike had stopped, looked at Tom. "Various places." "What kind of security? Shopping mall? Building security? Private security? What kind of private?" Mike had put the book on the shelf and walked away. "Can't talk about it." One day in October, a police officer came to the library. He was gathering information about a suspect wanted in the neighborhood. He showed a photo. "Have you seen this man? Armed robbery suspect." Everyone looked at the photo and said no. But Mike looked at the photo for just 2 seconds and said, "Yes, I saw him." "Where?" "Yesterday at 3:30 p.m. as he was exiting to Main Street. He was in a black Ford Escort, license plate number," and he gave the complete license plate number. Everyone stared at Mike in amazement. The police officer, too. "Are you sure?" "Yes, how do you remember so much detail?" Mike shrugged. "I pay attention." After the police left, Tom asked Mike, "Dude, how do you remember the license plate number?" "Habit." "What habit?" "Observation habit." But Mike didn't say anything more. Anna Rodriguez was very curious about Mike. She had chosen local heroes as her high school project topic and decided to research Mike. She searched Michael Stevens Security on the internet. No results came up. Mike Stevens Security, still nothing. She approached from a different angle. Mike's speaking style, posture, movement. These reminded her of military discipline. She searched Michael Stevens Military, still nothing. But Anna didn't give up. She asked her military history teacher, Mr. Rodriguez, her uncle, at school. Uncle, how can you tell if someone has a military background? Why are you asking? Anna described Mike. Mr. Rodriguez thought, the behaviors you describe fit someone who's had military training, especially special forces. But why is he hiding it? I don't know. Maybe he worked in covert operations, then records would be classified. An idea came to Anna's mind. Anna decided to test Mike. One afternoon in the quiet section of the library, she deliberately dropped a large pile of books. Crash! Mike's reaction was instant. He immediately turned toward the sound. His body language completely changed. His hands moved as if reaching for an invisible weapon. He scanned the area, checked exit routes. Then he realized Anna had just dropped books and returned to normal. But that instant reaction had surprised Anna. The next day, Anna and Tom conducted another test. Tom called out from behind as he passed by, "Mike, Mike." Mike immediately turned around, but his body language was completely in defensive position, as if expecting an attack. "Sorry," said Tom. "I just wanted to say hello." Mike relaxed. No problem. But Anna and Tom couldn't forget Mike's instant reaction. Second week of November, Saturday. The library normally closed at 6 p.m., but that day there was a special event, story night, for children. 25 children, 5 parents, and 3 library staff were present. Mike was there too, quietly organizing books as always. At 7:30 p.m., 2 people entered through the library's main door. One young, one middle-aged. Both looked agitated. Mike noticed them. He didn't take his eyes off them. The 2 men approached the main desk and started talking to the cashier. Voices were raised. "Where's our money?" "What money?" asked the library employee. "We know you're hiding money here." Children and parents were trying to understand what was happening. Mike slowly approached. "Gentlemen, there are children here. Please lower your voices." The young man turned to Mike. "Who are you?" "Library employee." "Can I help you?" "No, you can't." And at that moment, the young man pulled out a gun from under his jacket. When the gun appeared, panic started in the library. Children began crying. Parents took protective positions. But Mike's reaction was different. Instantly, as if a switch had been flipped, he became someone completely different. His posture changed, his eyes focused, his movement became professional. "Everyone down," he commanded. His voice was no longer soft. It was decisive, authoritative, commanding obedience. Children and parents automatically listened to Mike's voice. The armed men were surprised. "What are you doing?" Mike raised his hands, but was also calculating the distance between the 2 men. "Let's stay calm. These children are innocent." "Shut up." The young man pointed the gun at Mike, but Mike was moving. Slow, calculated, professional. "Let the children go. Talk to me. We have nothing to say to you." Mike took another step closer. "Take me hostage. Let the children go. Stop right there." But Mike wasn't stopping. He continued talking. At the same time, he was positioning himself, calculating angles, timing. Anna, hiding in the corner, was watching Mike. This wasn't the librarian she knew. This was someone else. The middle-aged man started getting nervous. "This is taking too long. Let's take the children too." "No," Mike said firmly. The young man pointed the gun at the children. Then Mike moved. Everything happened in 2 seconds. Mike grabbed the young man's gun-holding hand, twisted it from the wrist, dropped the gun, while simultaneously applying pressure to the man's neck with his other hand, knocking him unconscious. The middle-aged man tried to run, but Mike caught him too. One arm move, leg sweep, and the second man was also on the ground, motionless. The entire action lasted 5 seconds. Everyone in the library was shocked. Mike collected the guns, secured them, and took out his cell phone. 911. Security situation at the library. 2 suspects, neutralized. Need ambulance and police. Anna, Tom, and everyone else were staring at Mike in amazement. Was this that quiet, calm librarian? When police arrived, they talked with Mike at length, but only about that day's events. Nothing was said about his past. The following Monday, Mike came to work at his regular time, as if nothing had happened. But now everyone looked at him differently. Anna approached. "Mike, Saturday night, how did you do those moves?" Mike stopped, looked at Anna. For the first time, there was something in his eyes. Fatigue, and maybe relief. "Because I had learned," he said. "Where did you learn?" Mike took a deep breath. "A special place." Tom also approached. "Mike, did you really work in the security sector?" "Yes, but a different kind of security." "Anna, what kind?" Mike looked around. The library was quiet, only they were there. "I was a Navy SEAL for 20 years, he said slowly. "Last 5 years in SEAL Team 6. Anna's breath caught. "SEAL Team 6? Isn't that a very classified unit?" "Yes." "Tom, why did you leave?" Mike's eyes looked into the distance. "Because I got tired of fighting. I didn't want to hurt anyone anymore. I just wanted to protect." "But Saturday night you fought again." "No," said Mike. "Saturday night I protected. I didn't cause permanent harm to anyone. I just neutralized." The news spread quickly, but Mike's story didn't leak to the media because everyone wanted to protect him. Library director Helen called Mike to her office. "Mike, thank you for Saturday, but I'm curious. Why didn't you tell me about your background?" Mike sat quietly. "Because I wanted to be Mike here. To be a librarian, not a warrior. But people know now. They know. And I hope they'll still see me as a librarian." Helen smiled. "They'll see you as more than that, as a protector." In the following days, Mike's behavior changed. He was now more open, warmer. He talked more with children, recommended books to them. Anna asked one day, "Mike, you seem happier now." Mike smiled. He was really smiling for the first time. "Because I don't have to hide anymore, but I'm still doing the same job." "What job?" "Protecting people. Before in distant countries, now here." "Tom, will you tell stories sometimes?" Mike paused. "Some of them. But first, let's catalog the books." 6 months later, Mike had become the most beloved employee of Springfield Library. Children now called him Protector Mike. The library had become one of the safest places in the city. Everyone knew if there was a problem there, Mike was there. And Mike still came with the same routine every morning. He checked the exit doors, organized books, but now this came from love, not paranoia. One day Anna asked, "Mike, do you ever miss it?" "Your old life." Mike, while placing a book on the shelf. "No," he said, "because now I've found my real mission." "What's that?" "Protecting knowledge and protecting people who seek knowledge." And this became the most valuable lesson Mike Stevens taught. Real strength wasn't in causing harm, but in protecting. Some people are heroes on battlefields. Others are heroes among books, for children's safety. Mike Stevens was both. And now he knew which role was more valuable. Because real warriors are ready even when they don't have to fight. If this story touched you, share in the comments whether you think your librarian could be hiding such a secret. And if you believe stories like Mike Stevens deserve to be heard, subscribe to One Human One Story. We're here to honor the quiet heroes who walk among us every day, carrying stories that the world needs to remember. Their silence was earned. Now it's time we speak for them.